Hello, how are you? This is Simba, Canadian Simba, in Halifax, Nova Scotia province of Canada, just having lunch, sharing motivation, encouragement, and good stories. Good storytelling, good storytelling. And today for lunch is sandwich right here, donated by St. Matthew's Church. Community members, kind-hearted community members from St. Matthew's, thank you very much. Thank you, especially Alan and family, and all the team that I used to volunteer with, Simba, Canadian Simba from Kenya, US, truly loving, so joyful, generous, genuinely smiling. Canadian Simba from Kenya used to volunteer at St. Matthew's Church for so many years. Oh, man, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years, who knows, I don't remember how long, it's been a long, long time. So I used to clean the floor there, I used to volunteer out of the call when it opened there. I would attend the service up there, the church sometimes, and went through all kinds of situations with them together, went through COVID there, this church. And then one day I went there, and they told me, when gentleman stood at the door, he said, "You're not welcome here." I said, "Why?" He said, this is for members only. It is because they had a meal that day. They were celebrating. They had some kind of meeting and they were celebrating, I don't know, having a discussion about this and the other. I said, "But I come to this church, but I volunteer here." He said, "It's for members only." I mean, I asked him, what makes somebody a member? I asked him, "Is it because I'm an African, my skin is different? It's brown, you call me black man." But whatever. See? Anyways, is a reason. He said, "No, I have friends that are black, and I have other friends from around the world." So I asked him, "Then how comes we were in the church together, all of us. And then the priest or pastor, the lady, lovely lady, I think her name is Joyce or someone like that, I think, at St. Matthew's Church. See, she's like, she announced after the church that all are welcome to the meeting downstairs. So everybody went there, everybody was allowed in, old people, young people. There's only one young person there in that church at the moment, at least the one that attends. I don't know about that at times, but she usually sits very quietly in a corner. It's as though she's like huddled like that. I don't know. So she's there and she doesn't want to be there. I don't know. She feels lonely. She's the only young person. And I'm the only multicultural person in the church. Multicultural, I'm not talking about African or black or like Kenyan or like Kalenjin or Kipsigis or whatever specific community I come from in Kenya and as a Canadian Nova Scotian and Halifax person, or a person from Cape Breton, where I spend most of my time. I'm a Cape Bretoner by Cape Bretoner. My family, they get like Irish and Scottish and Aboriginal Mi'kmaq, Great Kingdom Aboriginal Mi'kmaq people in part of my family. So in African and who knows what other mixes there are in these multicultural Canadian people. Anyway, so the person told me, "You're not allowed to go in the meeting." And I said, "Okay." So it's not okay, but I told him, it's okay, but it's not okay. If you want it to be like that, you have power. You can stop whomever you want. Or if I go there, you're going to call the police and say, "Black man came here without permission," whatever. See? But they're okay for me when I go upstairs and maybe donate a leaf sometimes, or like some money for the 10% in the church, whatever. Or when I volunteer to clean the floor, or when who knows, whatever other things I help with there, or like I used to wash dishes there in the Sunday program. They have a lovely Sunday breakfast there. It's called St. Matthew's Sunday breakfast. It's one of the best breakfasts in the whole of North America, the whole of it, Canada, USA, all provinces of Canada, all states of Canada, and all territories of Canada, and and whatever else of Canada. See, And this program just feeds mainly people that are homeless, also like in suffering tough situations in life. And it's run by a doctor. So the program, the food is delicious and fresh made. They're so loving, so caring. They have a lot of young people supporting them now. Well, not so many, but there's some at the door. They stand there. I don't know why their friends stand at the door anyway. It's meant to be a welcoming place. Why you have someone standing on the door? Security. I don't know why. They turn into cops. And that started just about 1 year ago. Previous to that, it was so welcoming. Just like lovely retired people and whoever else wanted to volunteer that was making food and whatever. See? Even if people are welcome in Canada, it's not designed for all people. It's not welcoming for all people. Even if it seems safe around the world and in every country, including Canada, it's not safe for everybody. See, even if people seem caring and appreciative and professionals and students and who knows, whatever, families and just regular individuals, homeless people and leaders and all kinds of people in society. See, but doesn't mean they have good leadership skills. It doesn't mean that they have good manners. It doesn't mean they're welcoming human beings or that they love themselves. See, someone who does not welcome others or just selectively welcomes the ones that either look like them, it's called racism, or the ones that are from their own little group, it's called tribalism, which is like a version of real racism. Racism is an extreme version of tribalism. Or they are narrow-minded, ignorant, and have something called disease in the mind, which is like mental illness. It's a sickness in the mind that makes people racist, greedy, and corrupt, and start unnecessary stupid wars to profit themselves by killing and destroying and stealing and destroying others. Investing in military. Military is meant to be like save, protect, and whatever, and do peacekeeping and stuff like that. But then they use it to just test weapons and like drop chemical bombs and whatever, orange, whatever it is they're called. They dropped in Vietnam and they dropped bombs in a place called Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And then friggin' all kinds of stuff. And in Germany and in who knows wherever else there have been wars, Iraq, Iran, Palestine, Sudan, and all kinds of places where necessary fighting happening. But then the same people that are causing the fighting do not want there to be conflict and fighting in their own homes and families or culture or community or in Europe or in Israel or in wherever else, including Africa where my community comes from, or in Canada here where we live as a multicultural community. We don't want nobody bombing us at night and like, oh, this house of the Chinese has been bombed, or like the children in the school next door. 2 schools around here, plus the University of St. Mary's and Dalhousie, have been bombed. Bombs rain at night. We don't want that. We want to be safe. We want to have electricity. Say there's electricity here. We want to have power. That's called power, or political power, or like world power, or like why you need world power? Why you need to be world power? Anyway, whatever. Who knows? Go for it if you want. See. Shakespeare called it foolishness. He said, when we are born, we arrive to this world, a grand stage of fools. We cry because we've arrived here. Shit, like, what kind of idiots are these fools? Jeez. We pop out of the womb and it's like, it's cold or too hot or too... What the heck? That childbirth thing was so traumatizing. Who knows what children think when they are born? I was born, I don't even remember the experience. Maybe I have it somewhere recorded in my genes and memory and who knows, and subconscious or whatever. Who knows? It could be a pleasant birth. It could be like a tough labor. It could be like a cesarean. It could be like whatever kind of birth there is. Whatever, see? So people, human beings, birth something called ideas, and then we birth things. We make these, we make soup, farmer grow onions, others make machines, others build a house, others make this oven, others make that garbage, all kinds of things that people do. Plus, people come up with how to try either control others or control themselves instead of controlling themselves, or like instead of or like caring for themselves, their family and community. Most people do that. 80% are very caring and they do a good effort. Of course they have their flaws, everyone has their flaws, but whatever, it's just like we're cracked somehow in between. Wherever, see, this organ has a crack somewhere here, see, or whatever it is. See, this is how it is. It's just human nature is like that. We have like this little jinxes. This wall has some flecked paint here. See, there's nothing perfect in the world, not even human beings, not even an angel, not even the very best, not even God. The idea of God is imaginary, devil is imaginary, hell is imaginary, whatever. But if you want to believe in that, they ain't perfect. Even it is said God became angry in the friggin' Bible, in the what do you call it, in the Gita for the Buddhists, or in the Kabbalah, or whatever it is, whatever Jewish sacred text there is in Judaism, see, or the Torah, or in the Islamic Quran, or in the Christian Bible, whatever it is. The elements of the emotions of God, even the Greek gods. There was a god of fire, there was a god of the sun, or whatever. There was Zeus, there was all these other gods there. There was Athena, the god of beauty. Oh, my daughter called Athena, jeez. Oh, friggin', there's Athena, there's all these other gods of the Greeks. And the same as the deities of the Africans, the gods of the Africans culture, the European culture, the Aboriginal culture, or the Asian culture, or the whatever other cultures there are in the world. See, other people, Middle Eastern, Zoroastrians, and all these other Farsis, the ones from Persians, and the Kurds, so these bullied people in the Middle East. See. Or whatever, who knows, all the ones the Jews that want to control everything, power, money and all that, or the Europeans that want to control political power, and the Chinese want to control political, Russians, or whoever else want to control this and that. What they're doing is they're missing the point. The point is control yourself, control ourselves, control myself. Be a good human being. Manage self within self with self-confidence. See, this apple is not trying to bomb this other thing here that looks like what it is, it's a pancake, some kind of pancake. See, this soup is not trying to bomb the other cereal there. This oil I have in here is not trying to steal from the what do you call this one now? Syrup. The syrup is not trying to be racist towards the water in this bowl. Or the paper is not trying to say I'm better than you, or superior to this container here, see, or the house, or the knife, or the spoon, or the spoon, or the pen, see. So what is it that makes it happen that human beings are so ignorant? Why? It's been a question of philosophy forever. I told you, Shakespeare just mentioned it. I mentioned earlier, Shakespeare said, when we are born, we cry, for we have arrived in this world, a grand stage of fools. But he also said, by any other name, a rose would smell as sweet. Romeo and Juliet, both of those. And then he said, but human beings have something called Much Ado About Nothing, title of another book. And then he wrote another play called King Lear. King Lear, there's a daughter called, what's her name? Cordelia. Is it Cordelia? Oh, Cordelia is so caring. Cordelia had 2 or 3 sisters, and the other 2 or 3 sisters they want a portion of the kingdom. So they want, control the kingdom or whatever. Cordelia just loved the father. That's it. Cordelia loved the father. Cordelia was like the princess that had a slipper, a golden slipper. It's Cinderella. I think Cinderella dressed in white and had 10. Is it 2 daughters, 2 stepdaughters? Or how many sisters did Cinderella have? See? Anyway, so It's just how humanity is. It's the story of Cinderella, the story of Simba and Mufasa in Lion King, and Rafiki, is the friend, the monkey, hit him on the head and told him, hey, look at the water and see, you look like your father. Your father is up there in the sky or wherever. He on the soil, he's in the earth, wherever. But you're the new king, Simba. Look at your father and go check on the kingdom, he said. See? Anyway, so that's how it is. It's not just Simba, the Lion King. It happens to every child in that stage of life when the child or the youth is grown and adult, and then they're growing up, taking on responsibility, and then the elders and the seniors and the retiring people like, nah, I'm retired. I'm in my 60s, heading 70, going to 70s. See, so at this stage of life, just trying to motivate the younger ones and making these videos for my mom, and my mom is in her 90s, heading to 100. See, so it's at that stage where there's a lot of self-reflection between 30s, 40s, 50s, around there. See, midlife. It's not a crisis. It's a time to reevaluate, to think, how was my childhood? How is my life now? What is the reason for all this success? What it makes it worthwhile to be a good human being? What can I do to make the world a better place? And others in that stage of life are trying to get as much money, as much property, as much whatever, and like taking advantage of others and being racist and greedy and corrupt. And there are all kinds of human beings. Even those corrupt ones are caring to their family and to whomever they love and care for. See, they may want to bomb and kill and steal from others, but they want the police to protect them and their family. They want the military to protect them and their family. And they want, to have a nice health care for themselves and their family. They want to have nice food for themselves and their family. They want to have a nice retirement from Asian family. The other day I was here in the kitchen and someone told me he's very well educated from Asia. I live with him here. A couple of people from Asia in this house. A couple of people from Europe, from Africa, myself, and this I don't know who lives downstairs. There could be other people, new people there. Yeah, see, about 8 or 10, who knows, whatever number they are in this house. But they come and go. There's a lot of turnover. There's a lot of change of people coming and going. It's very expensive for the landlord having to go through the process of getting a new person all the time. I don't know why he does that anyway, but it's just how he runs his business. Everyone runs their family and business their own way. See. You could yell, you could love, he could be kind-hearted, who knows, there are all kinds of people out there. At least he keeps the place clean and tidy. Most other houses or place, unless it's really, really well managed, are not as good, clean and tidy like this. See, it's tidy. I don't own this. The roommates own that. Other roommates own that. See, some kind had a roommates put this here for everybody, some kind of sweets and who knows, whatever. See, I put some stuff there too sometimes, once in a while, whatever I share with it. Anyways, so that's humanity is like that. We have those elements of us. So I was here in the kitchen, and then one of the roommates told me, "Oh, how you retired at 40? You shouldn't have done that." But he himself wants his father to retire or his mother to retire so they can take it easy. I'm in the similar stage with his parents, and he's saying he should not have retired, but he's working towards helping his own parents to retire. And even if he himself was given a chance, he would retire at 20 or at 30 or at 4 as early as possible, and they can be able to just take it easy and, I don't know, draw paint or travel or do whatever it is that retired people do. See? Then see, there are all kinds of people, and I just give real life examples of what in my own lived experience to illustrate points about what is humanity. Why do we do what we do? How do we do what we do? How can we be better? How can we be good, better, and as best as possible versions of ourselves? I came here, this house, about a couple of months ago. I don't know, maybe like 6 months, 7 months now, 8 months, 9 months, almost a year, who knows. Time goes so fast, you know. So previous place I lived there for about maybe like 5, 6, 7 years or more, see? And we had about 25 roommates there, and all kinds of people, all kinds of culture, all kinds of heritage, all kinds of... Canada is a very multicultural country. Halifax City, Nova Scotia province of Canada is very multicultural, same as many other cities around the world. But here they're small because the Canadian government specifically brings the best of the best from around the world. Same as USA. I don't know if Europe does that. See these people that run empire, they want the best. They want to look good. They want to have good roads, good life, good food, good this, good the other. Anyway, so I lived there for about my previous place for about 7 years or so. Anyways, previous to that, I lived in another place close by there. Same place here in the south end of Halifax, close to the library. I lived there for about maybe like, I don't know, 5 or who knows, maybe 10 years or who knows, however long. And like 1 or 2 other places I've lived in. Nobody has ever tried to harm me, ever. In fact, I was talking to a retired lady here called Linda, and she said, that's weird. Why do your 3 of your roommates try to harm you? I said, I don't know. I don't know what it is. See, I can guess what it is. Everyone's guess probably as good as mine. It's probably skin color, number 1. It's probably jealousy, number 2. It's probably ignorance. Ignorance, number 3. So it just depends on how they were raised. So anyway, it was okay until I bought a vehicle. See, I bought a vehicle here, and then they became super jealous. See, see, but they themselves want to have vehicles. Or their parent maybe have the vehicle, or who knows, or they want to have a house, they want to have a car, they want to have a career, they want to have this, see. So I met another friend of mine called Tom. He told me, hey, I had things are tough in the house. I say, yeah, it's unusual. I don't know why you're happy. He told me, don't worry about them, see. He's a literature teacher, and he say, oh, don't worry about it. I say, why? He begins quoting poetry, and he says, oh, remember this poem. Oh, remember this. Or remember, it quotes. He's amazing. He's my friend called Tom. He's retired. See? And then he told me, hey, what? He told me, remember, it says in the scriptures, it says in this poem, it says in this book, it says here. And then he just talks about the nature of humanity and the nature of youthfulness. In youthfulness, people think they are invincible. They think they can bully somebody because their parents are not there, because their professional people are not there, their relatives are not there, they cannot see it, see? And then when they're out there, they pretend to be nice and amazing. They're like, yeah, we are the best. I'm the best professional, see? I'm the best this, I'm the best the other, see? They talk to your parents like, oh, prophet, everyone's doing wonderful. Or like they talk to the other roommates, but then when the other roommates are not there, they come and yell at Simba at the kitchen. They're like, I hate you. Why you hate Simba? Why you hate someone? They ain't tell them, I don't know. Go ahead. If you want to hate somebody, go ahead. It's your own energy you're misusing. But see, it's just how it is. It's the stages of life that people go through. But sometimes there's also something called energy. Energy is so interesting because like the energy that we share, we emit and whatever, the Asians call it karma. Karma goes like that. See, in them bullying Simba, or in them like inciting other people that are random on the street, or like in them trying to block the Facebook or YouTube, or like business, recycling small business of Simba, or like donations. I was getting like $5, $6, $7 to save. Then after a week, maybe 5, I would send maybe $10 to my mom, and another $10 to help community there, and another $10 to buy bread, and I would make the bread here to go help the homeless. It was just like volunteering, doing kind-hearted work. Go St. Matthews and volunteer there. Fridays I would raise the money there, sing, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. And I would sing there, and I would donate the money to UU Church, see, or like take get clothes that are recycled on the streets, wherever, wash it here, and then take with my own laundry, not extra wash, just same load I would make. I just put extra ones, whatever I found during the week, so that it's clean and presentable for someone that's homeless or someone that's struggling or someone that's, I don't know, just a student may need extra stuff. Who knows? Even a reasonable person sometimes may need something extra. Everyone needs help here and there. You don't have to be like the poorest of the poor to need help. Even the richest need someone to help him with accounts and with who knows, whatever other financial investments, and I don't know, to take care of the security, to buy items from, to grow food, whatever else. See, although like the richer person, the more educated, they want to feel they're independent and they like whatever, they don't need others, and then that separates them from the idea of humanity and kindness and this and that. But most people are still very caring, even if they have success and achievement and whatever other types of fruitful success and experience in life, or either being well traveled or well educated or well accomplished in various ways. See, it just depends on each one, whether a person is homeless, whether this person is rich, whether a person is poor, whether this person is still the person can be loving, whether a person is African or Asian or like European or like from the Middle East, Jewish, Arabic, Persian, Kurdish, or all the mixes that are in the Middle East, or like from North America, here in Canada, USA, or Caribbean, or like from the islands, wherever islands, Caribbean island, or all the other islands in the world, Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, South America, North Pole, Greenland, even the penguins, even the penguins have amazing sense of family and caring. You don't see penguins trying to bomb each other, or like throw each other into the ocean, or like push each other to be eaten by seals or whatever else. See, they cuddle together because it's cold in the South Pole. They stay in a group and they take care of the little children at their feet. They put their children at their feet like that, and they hold them so the child does not get cold in the ice and water. But here in Halifax, Nova Scotia province of Canada, the people that are privileged take advantage of the ones that don't have privilege. It's just, maybe it's human nature. Maybe, I don't know if ants do that or trees do that or the microbe does that to the table. I don't understand that. See, because that's a different level of thinking and, I don't know, research that needs to go into that. I am no researcher. I don't have the tools and the resources for that. So, but maybe probably it's just human nature for people to have differences, but how we sort them out, that's a personal choice. It's a cultural choice. It is a reason of each and every individual or family, of whichever culture, whichever heritage, or whichever spiritual belief, or none, or whatever education level. It just depends on each and every one, how they think. See, it's a choice to be a bully. It's a choice to be a kind-hearted person. It's a choice to be whatever other, a cook. Well, a cook may be like gifted, or they may choose a career for whatever reason, or to work in healthcare. The person working in healthcare may have worked in hotel industry or may have chosen to work elsewhere. So there's this thing called power of choice. So that's part of what makes a person who they are. And then there's how someone was raised. For example, if someone was raised in a violent or aggressive family, it's like a dog. If a dog was raised in a place where there's no love or kindness or whatever, then it gets affected by that environment. If someone is raised in a loving environment, they have this sense of confidence